Welcome back to another episode of Wired In. So I've got a small surprise for you guys. If you can look at the cities and mountains of ores that we have built, you will know that I have done some YouTuber off-camera mining. No, I'm just kidding. So these are like all the gold or the copper or the iron, the coal especially. Wow. And then the redstone and some of these deep slate ores as well. All of them, I just went to the previous caves that I've explored because I was looking for these babies. You see these? That's a lot of diamonds. And I made the mistake last time of using Fortune 2, which was this pickaxe, which I repaired with a diamond. Now let's repair this one, Fortune. So we get a lot more durability. 8 levels. Okay, let's just rename this guy. Just like that, we've got wired for Fortune. And Silk Destroyer isn't doing too well, but we don't need Silk Touch today. Gonna get some dirt. 1 extra diamond. A diamond shovel, because I don't have one. And now I'm gonna take down all these ores behind me. It's gonna take a while. I'll see you guys once I'm done. Alright, so I took off big mountain ores that were behind me, like things that are abundant in themselves, like coal, redstone, gold, iron, copper, all the sorts, and I saved the best for last. That's right, we're talking about lapis here. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna do the diamonds, but first, out of all that, we didn't lose a lot of durability, surprisingly. So let's lapis. Yeah, I'm not too concerned about lapis. I have a lot already. Okay, after mining all the ores, I feel like lapis gives you the most XP, and here is what I got so far. So we have that much lapis, this much gold only. That's kind of disappointing. Got a bunch of coal, got a lot of redstone, a couple of iron pieces, as in raw iron. What do you call them? Raw iron blocks, item, whatever. And then we got some raw copper as well. This is very useful. Now it's time for the diamond. So I think, if I remember correctly, I had around 26 blocks of those, 26 silk touch to diamond ore blocks. Okay, let's see. Now we have Fortune 3, so we should get over a stack. Let's do it. I haven't picked up a single one. Oh, this is nerve-wracking. Okay, that's all the diamonds there. Close your eyes. Oh yeah, we got more than a stack. Oh yeah, we are super rich. Check it out, I'm so rich. I just threw away all of my diamonds. Oh yeah. And it starts raining. I throw. Talk about anticlimactic. So we place the diamonds here, and that is the sum total of all the regular ore blocks. I decided to keep this and call it the Deep Slate Mountain. I will change how it looks later on, because I just basically piled it up without really expecting it to look like this, because the back looks a bit flat, if you know what I mean. Also, fun fact, I'm currently in the rain, and that's why the conduit power is active. Speaking of the conduit, we need to get more prismarine, so let's do that right now. Okay, now before we go get some prismarine from the temple, since we haven't defeated the Elder Guardians, they're still gonna have that mining mining thing on it. What's it called? Mining fatigue. Yeah, we're gonna have mining fatigue. So the only way to do that is either having honey or milk, and milk is something we have infinitely. Oh, that's weird. The animation didn't show. Yeah, okay. Do I have my boat on me? Not this time, no. Okay, got my boat. Let's head to sea. Oh, yeah, I left my boat there. In the middle of the ocean. So for good reason, I'll explain later. But now let's go do this. Alright, we're here. I'm just gonna park the boat in reverse. Whoop. Come on, come on. Dodge and wave. Block the line of sight and we should be good to go. I'm gonna get as much as I can. Oh, I think I have some light here. Neat. Okay, so this is the part of mining fatigue. So you can see I can't mine anymore. I'm just gonna... Boom. That's it. Just have to drink some milk and you're good to go. For now, I think we've got more than enough. I'm just gonna get out of here. Yeah, good thing I got the boat in reverse, huh? Right, we are back. Let's say hello to our puffer fish. Doing good, huh? Oh, okay. I'll leave you be. Alright, so until we get another Heart of the Sea, which is required to make a conduit, I'm going to borrow this one. But before I borrow it, I'm just going to finish this. I should have got more blocks, but look at the eye right now. The eye is open. So right now, we are basically invincible near this conduit. Any mob that approaches the conduit will take out for us on its own. 27 blocks is all we have, huh? Yeah, I'm sorry, conduit, I'm gonna need a bunch of these for right now. Alright, so now we got a conduit, we got a prismarine. So the reason we need a conduit is we're gonna partially work underground right now. And as you can guess from the title, not guess, as you already know from the title, the reason I'm doing this is because this is currently my moss farm. I just been digging down in a hole for moss. It's kind of disappointing. I'd prefer it to be automatic, and that is what we're gonna do today. We're gonna create an automatic moss farm. That I made a video about it, made a tutorial on it, so I'm just gonna do the same thing here. The reason I didn't make a moss farm before is because I didn't have slime balls, which are required to make sticky pistons, because the farm I made works on an etho hopper clock, which requires sticky pistons. And I've set up a small workstation here right behind me, as you can see here. So we've got a bunch of mossy stone bricks, cobble deep slate, all the sorts. We've got some sea pickles, which I farmed on some what do you call them? Coral? Yeah, we found them on coral. Because apparently if you bone meal sea pickle like here, they don't actually spread. They need to be on coral blocks. Then I found a bunch of wood, which is why I made a new axe, which got efficiency 4 and unbreaking 3. That's good. And these are all the redstone components right here. These are the decoration blocks that I'm going to be using. Some extra barrels, some extra glowstone, and 3 lava buckets for the farm and 1 for decoration. So now I'll show you why I need the conduit. Okay, so the reason I brought you out here in the ocean is because in real life there are these things called oil rigs that suck up oil from underneath the earth, which is what fuels most of the world around us, apart from solar powered things. And since the moss farm is a kind of a technical build, I can't really make it look good. So I'm just gonna go all in with the decoration. Now let's set up a conduit right here. That was oddly satisfying. Alright, so that looks like it's done. Now this place looks kind of dead, right? Like there's nothing going on for it. some mobs maybe. Place a kelp down. And boom. So it's like it's daytime under here. So I cleared up this area which had a lot of seagrass here. And this is where I'm going to be placing the oil brig, which is going to suck up some... I'm not going to tell you. You shall wait for it. Let me just go sleep and I'll head on with the build. Alright, so now we've come across a small problem. You see, I have this tiny boat, but I need to move the workstation and all the barrels with all the items we need to the ocean. This tiny boat isn't gonna help, so I have something else in mind. As you can see here, we have sailed our way out in a bigger boat which can hold all our stuff. That's perfect. Yeah, so we got all our materials here. We got a boat here. You can do this by basically, you can't actually place blocks inside of an entity like a boat. So just place the blocks there, place some pistons here, power it to the redstone torch, and they just push into the entity. So you can still use the boat. Which is how we got here, making this sail redundant. As you can see, we got some pumpkin roasting up on the campfire. We got our stone cutter, crafting table, and all this. And right down here, I'll hit F3+G real quick. So this is within a chunk. As you can see, I've marked out the chunk so that we don't have to look at this the whole time. And this is the center of the build. So I've already laid it out. Now unfortunately, a chunk is a 16 by 16 area, which is even. So that would mean, so these 4 blocks here are in the center. So I need to make a 9 by 9 center. So any direction is fine. You can go this way, that way, that way. So I made a moss farm tutorial video which will perfectly explain how to build this. So I'm just gonna do it, and let's see when I'm done. Alright, so I finished making the moss farm. I hope you watched the video and you came back to this video. Please watch this video. Alright, as you can see, we've got a floating moss farm all built up. I've used actually all my copper blocks. We got some composters in barrels correcting the blocks as well as the bone meal. And yes, raft. Right, quickly before we go to the moss farm, if you want a moss farm to work properly, you need to at least have 1 stack. So you need to at least have 64 bone meal, so that you get more bone meal as well as some of the moss blocks. Now I don't want this farm just to be a bone meal farm or just a moss block farm. And so that is why I've got one of the outputs as just for moss, and the other 2 are going to take in all the moss blocks, compost them, and send them as bone meal in these 4 chests respectively, and this one being moss. And this is how you turn it on with this lever right there, which currently locks the hop clock. Let me just get up there. Okay, this is not how I'm supposed to get up here. The build isn't done yet. As you can see, it's floating right now. But yeah, so alright, so we got the hop clock. I've covered it up. There's going to be a furnace here or something. That is for later. So which I think it's got exactly 10 items. It's locked right now, so that sends a signal to all of these. This is on 2 ticks so that it activates a little bit later. Moss farm, which activates by the note block, because the observer sends a signal twice. One into this through the redstone line and another through the moss block. So it somehow works out because this is on 5 ticks. I'll explain what I mean. So put your bone meal in here, 64, and turn on the farm. As you can see, the piston fires twice, so you'd expect 2 bone meal to go out, right? It's only 1 because the piston fires super fast that the bone meal doesn't fire the second time. It's causing a bit of lag. So what I've done here is this is completely unnecessary, but I've just added a dispenser underneath this redstone lamp. So it occasionally looks like it's expelling some of the water out. This may not make sense right now, but I will finish it let's head on to the time lapse. I'll finish the build and get on with it. And bingo bango bongo, our moss farm is done just like that. Let's take a look. As you can see, it's got a lot going on apart from the general moss farm from the tutorial. So let's just head on to the platform that we have going on right here. You can enter two ways, this way as well as that way. There's two fence gates. So you can see this is just so I can AFK here, as well as some load to this thing. So these three mystical cubes are actually what powers this furnace right here, the system engine that we've got going on top, which produces the moss for us magically. As you can see, I've tied it down. Let me get on top here. And then we got these grindstones right here, which pull in the chains, which pulls this whole elevator up, which supplies the fuel. So the maintenance guy comes up here. As you can see, there's the whole furnace burning super hot that it turns blue. So what I've done here is I've used magma blocks indicating that it's super hot right there. And this was all once polished deep slate. It broke down to cobble, then regular deep slate, so it's like a gradual decay due to overuse. And this is just a hopper clock that I've basically covered up. I've put a magma block here because there's really nothing over here. That's the observer that we've seen, the pistons, and then the 10 items inside. I need to close that. So you turn on the farm. So what I think before starting, I did a test run. I did 32 bone meal, so we have 32 here. We did half a stack basically. Let's turn it on. And right up here, we've got our communications array. This is supposed to be an oil brig, right? So if you don't have communications, you're out in the middle of the ocean. Okay, that's too loud. Let me get down from there. Okay, much better. So basically, as you can see, we've got some redstone lamps indicating the flow of the redstone line, and these pipes right here. Okay, I was interrupted by my dog, so I'm gonna restart. So as you can see here, we've got our fuel line going up with the rare slime blocks, which can be like something radioactive, basically powering the furnace, as I showed you before. And so basically what happens is the oil brig or the moss brig is pulling up some lava for fuel, so that's what's generating the stone on top. And the water that pushes the moss gets collected and gets sent out the drain back into the ocean. And the water actually comes in from these pipes down here. So you see these walls that I placed here? These are the vents that's pulling from fresh water going up into the system. And since there's like lava going up, all the thermal energy that is generating around it has brought in some life, some coral, some sea lanterns, and these mysterious amethyst blocks. There's crystallization going on there because of the the excess heat, basically. Also, I added some small details down here. So basically, right down here we added some magma blocks because it's hot. So yeah, that's the area, and we've also seen the grass spreading into the conduit. I'm gonna either get a new conduit or replace this one and bring it back into the Japanese fishing pagoda hole. I need a shorter name for that one. But yeah, this is the build. Let's go check if our bone meal is done. It should be done by now. Oh yeah, it's done for sure. Okay, so when it's done, it's just gonna fire randomly, just spraying some water. Sometimes you don't get these blocks broken, but it shouldn't matter too much. Just turn the farm off. So this center part must be all the blocks, and these two must be bone meal. So I added a stack in, and you saw 32 of it, so half a stack. So let's see if it adds up. Got 33 already. 3 right there. 41. Okay, we already crossed a stack. So we got 16 extra bone meal, as well as, oh yeah, that's a lot. That's what I was looking for. Needed moss blocks. That's a relief. I don't have to dig a giant hole in the ground anymore. Okay, now that we have finished it, I'm gonna move the raft. Let me know if you like the raft or not. I'm gonna move the raft probably, yeah, to the spider farm, because we need to build something for the spider farm. We can't just be diving into the unknown. No one knows there's a spider farm there, you know what I mean? So we're gonna move the raft over there and set up a base. And next episode is where I will see you next. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed, and see you later. Goodbye.